tape don't lie. Obviously, we got Max Browne in the building. And Max, here's the thing I want to get to, right? Clemson, they're number 2 in our program, but this team could be number 1 in our hearts.
Yeah, it's a new year, but a lot of the same narratives going into this college football playoff with some familiar teams. But then also, if you get Clemson on the right day, man, they don't take a backseat to any one of their opponents.
Yeah, I wanted to put this story on here. We've shown it before, but Trevor Lawrence is special, and I do want to highlight Amari Rodgers, his ability to contort his body to make this catch.
Without a doubt, yeah. Pitt's going to commit about seven and a half guys to the box. That's what you're going to have to face with Travis Etienne. You're going to see it again right here on this play as well, and that leaves some one-on-one matchups on the outside. You have the offensive line play to have a clean pocket and go up and make a play. Cornell with a big catch right there, but that's kind of the battle you're going to have to face is you pack the box, face the run, or do you let the future number 1 overall pick kind of pick you apart through the air?
Yeah, and that's the kind of thing. That's the reason I put these on here, right? Is I want to highlight Amari Rodgers. I want to spotlight Cornell Powell. But how easy is this throw for Trevor? And then we'll get obviously to Etienne as well.
Yeah, anytime you get a clean pocket, that's the number one thing that I noticed. If you're going to bring pressure, let's bring pressure. But standing in this gray zone for Pitt right there, that's a recipe for disaster because you give Trevor Lawrence a clean pocket, he's able to step into his throw, make an accurate throw. Like, you got to get him off his base, got to get his feet moving and off balance.
The problem is when you bring pressure, when you try to get him off his base, they also have this safety valve in Travis Etienne, who's become a guy that's caught over 500 yards of passes this season.
Yeah, if you're going to blitz, got to make sure you're helping your buddy out. But a great job right here. Replacing the blitz with the throw is kind of how I was taught, and getting the ball out quickly. That's executing at a high level right there.
And this is the part, and the reason I put this one on here, Max, this guy's a bruiser. He's a little more of a bruiser than people realize.
Yeah, Deion Jones, have fun with this one. Boston College safety having to go head-to-head in the hole. And one thing with a lot of these football plays we've just seen is it's not overly complex. That's just a man look. They're going to block receiver on receiver and then just have Etienne go one-on-one with a safety. Not overly complex. Clemson's just saying we have better players than you.
Yeah, and I think that's the big key for me is they have better players. And obviously, going into the ACC championship game, everybody was like, well, Trevor Lawrence is going to be the difference. But people didn't talk about Mike Jones, James Skalski, Tyler Davis. And here we got Mike Jones at 6. He's lined up over the slot. And I love the way that he immediately comes to contain and then fills from that backside or front side A.
Yeah, I love his containment. I love how everyone is gap sound. I mean, that's what happens when you roll the ball back and there's more orange helmets right there. Like, this is textbook team defense. Yes, they're great at the point of attack, but they're also disciplined on the backside and kind of preventing this rollback here by the running back.
Yeah, and I want folks to pay attention to this is the play that I love this play because I want folks to pay attention to Tyler Davis, who's a big player, but then also Kane Patterson recognizing that he is not gapped out and trying to roll back into the gap. You see 17 right there, trying to get back into the right gap so that he can stop the cutback. But ultimately, he tackles the guy with his back.
Yeah, and I'll highlight 98 Mylan Murphy up at the top. Look at him set the edge. His get off, and he's already in the backfield right away. If you're running outside zone to the left, and that defensive end's already 4 yards in the backfield, like, you have to cut it back. And so that's the beauty of this defense is it feels like they all know if I just dominate my one-on-one, if I just dominate my gap, that other guys can make the play and we can all eat together right there. And Brent Venables, he's been on that sideline a very long time. Don't know how he's not a head coach yet, but still doing big things there with the Clemson D.
Yeah, well, so for Clemson, what do you think is their key to bringing home a title in terms of not just winning their semifinal matchup that they've got with Ohio State, but putting another championship on the mantle for the Tigers?
Yeah, I think it's going to come down to the Tigers' pass rush. It's a younger group. They still obviously are recruiting well and some exciting things there. But when you look at them facing Ohio State, if they can get pressure and don't have to bring a lot of bodies, that to me is how they can get over the edge right there and really put pressure on Justin Fields. Justin Fields, who hasn't really played as well in bigger games, if the Clemson defensive line can come to play, I like their chances.